Hey, what's up, people? I have one question for you, okay? One question, simple question. Where's Waldo? Am I right? Let me get a name. Nah, but low-key, nah, you know what I'm saying? I do low-key look like Waldo. Smell me? Waldo do look like a booty eater, that's true. But in all seriousness, I wanted to talk about my boy Tapion real quick. Reason why, he is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z, and he's from my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, Wrath of the Dragons. Of the Dragon. There's no S. Nope. And in this movie, we are introduced to Tapion as well as we see his character fleshed out alongside my favorite character, Trunks. Now this turns Kid Trunks into a likable character, which blows my mind because Kid Trunks is fucking awful. I hate Kid Trunks. Future Trunks is my favorite character. Kid Trunks could die for all I care. But Tapion is an alien that wields a magical sword. He looks like an elf, and he also got a little ocarina of wait a fucking minute. Despite the fact that Tapion is technically non-canon, I still very much enjoy his character and all the stuff that he brings to the table. In fact, I even enjoy his similarities to the series The Legend of Zelda, a popular Nintendo series, and he shares a lot of characteristics with Link, the main character in that series. But people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video, come join me. Sit on Pop Omega's fucking lap and let's talk about Tapion. So I mentioned how I liked his similarities with Link from The Legend of Zelda, and that's the first thing I'll tackle. So for those of you that are unaware as to where the similarities might come from, one, I gotta ask. And two, I also gotta ask, no, seriously, where's Waldo? I can't find him. Anyway, like I said earlier, Tapion is an elvish looking character. He's actually from another planet called Konats, where he had a younger brother named Minosha, and that planet existed thousands of years ago. Where his similarities with Link appear is very, very obvious very early on, just from looking at the character's design. He wields a magical sword similar to, like, say, the Master Sword in The Legend of Zelda, and he also wields this little Ocarina of Time. Psych boy, that's called the Hero's Flute. So what do these things actually do? Do they actually have any merits in common with the items from The Legend of Zelda? Well, for the Brave Sword, which is the name of Tapion's sword, we don't really know because it's never really used or anything like that. He never really even takes it out or acknowledges it until he bestows it upon Trunks at the end of the film. The Ocarina, on the other hand, we do know of, and we do know what it can do. This thing directly affects how Hirudegarn acts. Hirudegarn being the main enemy of the Wrath of Dragon movie. So it'll send him into like a fit of rage where he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He gets blind. He's like, oh my God, I see booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere. And he doesn't really know, what to do. And this is extremely helpful because Hirudegarn is a very, very powerful monster that is very, very difficult to stop. But these hero flutes, or the Ocarina of Time, or whatever you want to call it, are a direct counter to him. The only other use that we see for this Ocarina is that it can form a sort of barrier around Tapion. We see him use this to defend against a Hirudegarn flame, and it's even one of his moves in the video game series Budokai Tenkaichi. But beyond that, the hero flute doesn't really show much more resemblance to the ocarina outside of its appearance and the fact that it is, well, an ocarina. And some other people might be like, oh my God, they directly stole that from The Legend of Zelda. Well, you might be shocked to understand, but The Legend of Zelda did not invent the ocarina. But the similarities don't end in just physical appearance or in the items they carry. It also carries over into their personality, which is pretty similar. Now, Link doesn't even speak. However, we know through the actions that he takes and the stuff that he does throughout the video game series, we can infer that he is pretty much like a heroic, brave type. Same with Tapion. They both will do whatever it takes to save one, Hyrule in Link's case, and two, Konats, which was Tapion's planet, or in this case, Earth in the movie Wrath of the Dragon. Regardless, they each want to defend their home plate, you know what I'm saying? Against a very, very powerful being. Again, Ganondorf and Hirudegarn, you can sort of draw parallels there. But other than that, where the characters derive from are in pretty separate universes, and that's where we're gonna veer off from the whole Legend of Zelda comparison thing into now moving into what makes Tapion a really cool character and why I personally love the character. So this goes all the way back to his origins and his roots. When he was on his original planet with his younger brother, Minosha, they're just kids playing tag, chasing bitches, playing Pokemon Go, doing all that shit, caught a 1000 CP Dragonite, I seen it, when an ancient evil alien guy was like, hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy for the one time, and I'm gonna summon this beast called Hirudegarn, so that way, you can have a backstory essentially. And this launched Hirudegarn, this giant monster insect looking motherfucker that just wreaked havoc on his planet and ended up actually destroying his entire planet and wiping out all of his people and killing the motherfucker that spawned him. So talk about karma for the one time. So then Tapion and his brother would use a little ocarina, their hero flutes, which is what it's called, not the Ocarina of Time, to distract Hirudegarn in a fit of rage while a wizard guy came through with a sword, an enchanted sword at that, and cut that motherfucker in half. And to ensure that Hirudegarn stayed away from ever being a possibility to wreak havoc on anybody else ever again, what they ended up doing was they sealed themselves, Tapion and Minosha respectively, inside separate music boxes and got spread throughout the universe. Minosha went to fucking God knows where, and Tapion landed conveniently on Earth. And then on Earth, we see your boy Hoy. And this dude is an evil alien of the same race of the dude from Tapion's backstory that first summoned Hirudegarn. And what does this guy want to do? He wants to bring back Hirudegarn again, because that worked out extremely well for the last guy. So apparently finding these music boxes is a lot easier than finding Waldo, because this boy Hoy had already found Minosha, and on Earth he recruits the help of the Z fighters who unknowingly are helping him summon Hirudegarn. So it happens. They find the music box, they release Hirudegarn, and alongside that half of Hirudegarn comes Tapion. The only way that half of Hirudegarn could have gotten out and done all that rampage is if Hoy had already gotten to that other half of Hirudegarn already. Thus, that means Minosha is unfortunately dead. So after coming out of this music box after thousands of years, he learns his brother is gone. Of course, we see Trunks try to befriend Tapion, and it works. Trunks finds Tapion's little hideout cave thing. He's like, yo man, you want some food, want this, that, whatever? And Tapion's like, okay, I guess, why not? I mean, I'm 1,000 years old hanging out with a little kid. What's the government gonna do to me? You know what I'm saying? Jared Fogle style here on the streets for the one time. So he decides to befriend Trunks, and they form a really, really powerful friendship. But all throughout the film, we see Tapion's resolve to put an end to Hirudegarn. He doesn't want him to wreak any more havoc. He doesn't want him to take millions of lives anymore. He wants to protect Trunks, protect the new friends he's made, protect this place, so that way he doesn't suffer the same fate as his original planet. And after seeing Hirudegarn tear through all the Earth's most powerful fighters, everybody just falling to Hirudegarn, we finally see Tapion overcome Hirudegarn by playing the hero flutes and distracting Hirudegarn and weakening Hirudegarn, so that way Goku can go Super Saiyan 3 like a boss and hit him with a Super Dragon Fist. And then towards the end of the movie comes another heartfelt part where Tapion goes into the time machine and goes back thousands of years to go back to his original planet, his original family, his original home. Everything has a happy ending, but seeing the departure from Tapion and Trunks is what's really, really heartfelt to me. And before Tapion leaves, he bestows his sword to Trunks. And now a lot of people have been speculating that the sword that Tapion gifted Trunks is the sword that future Trunks ends up using. However, while that would be cool, that does not seem to be the case, because you got to look at the physical properties first and foremost between the two swords, and they don't resemble each other at all. Not a single sword Trunks uses throughout the entire Dragon Ball Z, or even if you want to take GT series, nothing resembles the sword that Tapion gave to him. And extending further from that is that you got to remember that this movie is a one-off thing. It is completely uncanon. So what happens in this movie, you may as well just say it never even happened in the main storyline. Although I do agree it would be extremely dope to see this sword have like an incredible backstory, because how did Trunks get his goddamn sword? We don't know. But we say goodbye to Tapion, and we say goodbye to one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z from my favorite Dragon Ball Z film, Wrath of the Dragon. Anyway, what do you guys think about Tapion? Do you love him? Do you hate him? What would you rate him? But yeah, my name is OmegaPro. I hope you all did enjoy this video. I'm gonna go, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Peace. But I'm learning now. Man, my soul bad, I deserve this right now. It's so happy, we gotta be happy, can't believe the nerve right now. Life is full circle, it's occur right now. I'm just hurt right now. Well, how long is right now? Cause I've been in it deep and I might drown. Crying in my sleep, so I might. When she jerk me, her hands move like Naruto. Whoa, I don't explode. No, I don't party, baby. MAO low. Whoa! Talk Oscar. It's coming out, man.